Thank you. Welcome to Geek Newscast. I am Jay, joined as always by Max and Philip, and today we have a special guest joining us, Mike McG from McGTV. Mike, go ahead and say hello.
Hello, everybody. It's an honor, pleasure, privilege to be here, I think. Sure.
Yeah, Mike does a lot of videos on YouTube. We went to high school. We're old friends, so he asked if he could collaborate with us, and I was like, heck yeah. So, we all four unfortunately watched Star Wars Episode 1 over the weekend.
That was a lot of fun.
And we're gonna just go right into it. We'll start with Max.
All right, now to start the movie, I thought started on the right foot. You got lightsabers, you got crazy droids going on. When they ran away with the Super Jedi Knight speed, that was awesome. And then after that, the whole movie just went to hell. But, no, they did a lot of good things right there in the beginning, like right there at the front. I really liked it. For like 10 minutes. It was pretty awesome the whole time for 10 minutes.
Well, we need the fart jokes from the Jar Jar Binks, of course.
Yeah, fart jokes, and it's just like, the whole Gungan race is a joke. It's a big effing joke, and it's crazy. They just took stereotypes and ran with them, and they're all like native islanders, and they got that patois that they speak, and
Oh, listen.
Yeah, and then everybody, no matter what emotion they're feeling, it deserves a.
Well, that's just a physical tick. They can't help that.
Oh, okay. It's like freaking what's that? Not Asperger's, but Tourette's. There you go. They all have Tourette's.
The entire race has Tourette's. But we were talking about this before the cast started. The Chinese stereotypes in the beginning, even like in the first minute, it's not that great. Thank you. The whole we have to contact Lord Sidious. 1 ton stop is on the rise here on the Trade Federation.
Well, yeah.
That's where the movie lost me. As soon as that happened, I'm out. That was.
Yeah, pretty much for me, it was very similar to you, Max. Like, at the beginning, it's like, oh, this is cool. And, like, it's funny, until you pointed it out, Mike, I didn't actually even think about how racist the accents were for the Trade Federation. But in hindsight, absolutely. And then, to me, when Jar Jar popped on the screen, again, I remember this when I was younger. I didn't really care for him, but he didn't bother me as much. But why didn't they try to just use a different language and subtitle it? Anything. Oh.
Yeah.
But the natural thing to follow up a racist Asian stereotype is to do a black stereotype.
Keep it going.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard of this little thing called slavery. Happened a while back. Black people get stereotyped or whatever, however you want to pronounce it, phrase it. But we got to get thrown in every movie. If you're gonna play on someone else's stereotype, you have to also play on ours.
That's a requirement, right?
Yes.
Who didn't say there was equality in the?
In America, that's how it rolls. We're the minority. Everyone else is behind us.
Philip, go ahead and continue what you were saying. Sorry.
Sure, no worries. It's all good. This is fun. To me, my first thing I thought about was why in the world, so even if I'm going to take the movie seriously, why did the Naboo not even have an army? They didn't even have anybody.
Yeah, that's
true, yeah.
Oh, you're all peace and love, man. No, dude, make love, not war.
Then why didn't the Gungans take over?
Everybody's so beautiful, like nobody can cause harm to each other on Naboo.
Yeah, at most they have like a royal guard who isn't really that great at fighting. So it's like, yeah, I guess they never anticipated.
But they have a squadron of space fighters. Just one, though.
R2's got to come from somewhere.
Oh my god, yeah, like.
How did the Gungans not pick up on that they've got some weak humans living on top of the planet?
That's true. Like,
dude,
they're supposed to be at war.
Yeah. Dude, it's gonna be Tuesday. It's gonna be Tuesday, and the Gungans invade the surface Naboo. And the Naboo people are just like, on Tuesday? I can't believe this would ever happen. Completely by surprise.
They got that big fat guy in Naboo that's always cold.
Oh yeah. Let's attack tomorrow.
It was just the little things all throughout the movie that just make it so stupid. It's just like just the tiny little things. Anytime you have a kid actors, like I said it before about Gotham, I'll say it again about this movie. Children can't act. There's like 1 out of 10,000 children who can act. So if you have to have a child, if you minimize the child's presence, that's always for the best. But not George Lucas, not this guy.
I think the golden rule is if you have to have a child actor, it better be Haley Joel Osment, and you better keep him perpetually young. Like, that's what you got. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'd really blame the kid so much. It also depends on the material you're given, like the script.
But he's also a kid actor, and by default, he's shitty. So I mean, it's not his fault. He's a kid.
Yeah, and he's a 10-year-old being asked to be in a Star Wars movie. So it's like, yeah, what kid is going to say no to that?
Oh, God. I mean, I would have done it when I was 10. Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
All right.
Are you serious?
This is gonna be what?
Sorry.
Anyway, let's get. This is gonna be a short list for everybody, but the positives in Star Wars Episode 1. Does anybody have any? I mean, I would go with Darth Maul. Would be a pretty positive.
Okay, no, Darth Maul is a huge positive. The Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan fight is the best lightsaber battle out of all the prequels. Like I said, they ran with the night speed at the very beginning. Love that.
You should only say one, Max. You need to save some for elder people.
Did I take all yours?
Yes. I was going through my list. I'm like, that's negative, man. Max took the only thing I liked.
Honestly,
what was the only thing
Ewan McGregor, he does okay with what he's given, as does Liam Neeson. But that's mostly just because they're actors I really like. That's mostly just their natural charisma. They're able to take this dull, trite dialogue and do something with it a little bit. Natalie Portman, I don't know what she's doing in that movie, but
just hanging.
She's like half in a coma, half not. So
she didn't know they were making a movie.
And she's your wife.
Well, one of my positives for this, and whether you like the movie or hate the movie, the special effects in it are amazing.
I like that they actually use sets, for a little bit. It wasn't just all CG, and I mean, it looked good. It looked good, except for when they were running on the grass that didn't
move.
running. It was fake. There was like a gigantic landscape of stuff that you could definitely tell is fake, and also it's dated now. It's a little bit, but so I shouldn't give it such a hard time. But yeah, it looked all right.
Yeah, I mean.
But no, Philip, which one was your favorite that I took? I'm sorry, I was.
Oh, so it was the fight scene at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Best.
But
I led with that.
Hey, led with that.
Put your best foot forward.
Exactly. I mean, from my perspective, after that, I thought they up-res the Blu-rays really well. That was awesome.
The conversion was.
Big ups to those Blu-ray guys. They know how to do it.
You're stretching when the Blu-ray conversion is one of your positives in a movie.
You're reaching so hard.
I really enjoyed the menu selection options.
It was a great screen. Just that whole deal they had going on.
I really love the end credits because the movie was over.
Yeah. Also, the transition between menus, it was good on the DVD or on the Blu-ray.
Here's a good thing to bring up.
DVD.
So with Episode 1, if you talk to any Star Wars fan that didn't like the prequels, they've seen all of the prequels in the theaters multiple times. So what do you guys think was the reason we kept going back?
We were starved, dude. The last Star Wars movie came out in what, like 89, 91 or some shit like it was. When did it come out? I don't even know.
83.
83.
I think before any of us were actually born.
That year. Okay, the last time a Star Wars movie came out, I was born. That's why we went to see it 5 times, because good or bad, it was all we had.
Yeah, it was our Star Wars. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For good or bad, yeah.
And it was experience. Experience was fantastic. The cheering and the applause.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I went and saw it early, and then I went and saw it again, like on opening day, and it was awesome both times.
Were you one of those waiting liners?
Yeah, a little bit. So
Yeah. You were next to a guy in Darth Maul makeup and.
No, I stood next to Chewbacca.
Okay.
Nice.
He was nowhere in it, but he was probably disappointed.
Yeah, he showed up at the so it was all good.
Yeah.
Well, anybody got anything to add to the topic of Star Wars Episode 1?
It's terrible, but watch it anyway.
It is worth a laugh, I will say. But also, I just find it hilarious that George Lucas still, like, I mean, it's his stuff. Of course he's going to defend it, but he's like, oh, it's always meant to be a kid's movie. The first Star Wars was meant to be a kid's movie. Yeah, but maybe a good kid's movie.
There you go.
It's like
you can still have it written well. Just because it's for a certain age group doesn't mean it can't be written well or, acted well.
you gotta have the fart jokes, man.
Okay, you know what? Always big ups to George Lucas on the special effects. He's a special effects guy, and I won't ever take that from him. He does a good job with special effects, and that is it. He's not a writer. He's not a director. He's a special effects guy.
Sorry, George, but Empire Strikes Back is not a kid's movie. It is awesome. It's one of the best. That's my favorite one.
I don't. Every time I watch episode 1, 2, or 3, I have to watch Empire immediately afterwards, just to cleanse the palate.
Oh, Mike, Philip, anything else?
In terms of the prequels in general,
Sure.
I can get through the last half hour of episode 3 and be okay because I know it's heading towards something I actually enjoy.
That's very true.
It is true. Our next review will be of episode 2, so be excited, everybody. But we're gonna wait a few weeks for that because
You're the
it's a
fight
different
scene.
one. Yeah.
Hayden Christensen brings out quite a bit of rage, probably.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so there's a scene in the second episode where I'm going to address this. He goes and slaughters a bunch of the village, and there's women and children there. And he goes to Padme and says, "I just killed all these people," and her response is, "It's okay to get mad." He just commits genocide, and it's okay to be mad.
I wouldn't say genocide. I mean, just because he murders one village doesn't make it genocide.
Regional
Okay.
genocide.
Great.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
worry, Norman. It's okay to get mad.
Totally okay. Is my banner thing up? Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, he should be fine.
All right, guys. You guys ready to get into some news? Stuff that won't necessarily piss. Well, it'll probably piss Max off, but won't piss the rest of us off.
I hate everything.
I was warned.
I don't hate everything. It's like 97.3%.
Okay, first order of news just surfaced. This is our rumor, and we're going to just talk about it. It makes sense with everything that's happened over the last year, but the rumor now is, so before, Sony wanted to put, Marvel wanted to put the Oscorp building in the Avengers, but Sony wanted too much money to use the rights, so they said, screw you, we don't need you. So now Sony is singing a different tune after The Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't do nearly as well as they hoped. It's actually, I believe, the second lowest grossing Spider-Man movie.
That sucks.
Well, the highest grossing Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man 3. So I mean,
Are you
come
serious?
on.
Yeah.
That's the highest one?
Yeah.
Oh, the movie was terrible.
So
I think people went back just to see it because they didn't believe it was so bad the first time. They're like, "There's no way. There's no way that movie was that bad."
People love their
They see it
dance
again.
numbers, man.
Yeah, that's true.
it was
I
still a
love it.
Spider-Man movie. I mean, anyway, yeah. So apparently Sony has approached Kevin Feige and Marvel about putting Spider-Man in the Avengers 3. And he wants it to be a part of the big cinematic universe using Andrew Garfield, which in turn would bring people to the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe, which, I would love to see Andrew Garfield on screen with,
Give up
Robert Downey.
the writers. If they take the Marvel writers and give up the Sony writers, I'm down.
Or work together. I mean, with
No.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, it wasn't the writer's issue. It wasn't Mark Webb. It wasn't Mark Webb. I mean, if you listen to Andrew Garfield's recent interviews, it's the studio. You're right. They need to let the Marvel studio handle the Spider-Man movie and not let so much.
Okay, well, the current Sony writers can apply to Marvel. If they make it or not, that's really not any of our business. Marvel needs to take over. And that's the only way I'm down with this because they have somehow magically made it work this whole time. And Sony has done mostly terrible. They've done mostly bad things. And they need to just give it up. Just give it up.
But would it really be so bad if Spider-Man was awesome in the Avengers movies every time he showed up there? You just pretend like the Spider-Man movies don't exist.
Oh, no, but I'm saying, why can't we have good Spider-Man movies and good Avengers movies with Spider-Man in them?
Because the world is only so big.
Whatever, man. Marvel, they've been doing it. Let them have it. Let them be like, hey, guys, you know what you're doing. We're fuck-ups over here.
Well, Marvel proved in August they don't need Spider-Man. Guardians of the Galaxy, a property nobody's heard of, was the #1 movie of the summer in America.
At this point, I think we're better off with just maybe starting out fresh with a new Spider-Man, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in the Marvel films. It's going to be hard to ignore that Spider-Man just didn't notice aliens falling out of the sky, or
Have a point.
Ultron taking over, or
If I have to sit through one more Spider-Man origin, I will strangle it.
well, no, that's a good idea. Just start the movies, basically, because at this point everyone should know the origin. They have had 2 iterations of it. Just start it out. He's already doing his thing. He's already around somewhere. They should just do that.
Ben Affleck Batman. I'm going to do exactly what they're doing with Batman over at DC.
Because
Ben Affleck Spider-Man. Why not? Well,
if I have to sit through one more Spider-Man origin, I'm going to jump off of the theater that I watched it at.
Max, to be fair, I don't think anybody truly knows the Spider-Man origin. They haven't shown it to us yet. I just need one more. One more.
That would happen. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do something drastic when they make this Spider-Man. They're going to call it the Spectacular Spider-Man. And it's going to be the Spider-Man origin again, and I'm going to go on a, wild, murderous rampage.
no, I got the solution here. I got the solution. Totally new character, Jewish-based superhero, Jakob Spiderman. There we go. See, they got a Spider-Man in there.
There you go.
That's just his name. That's all.
I'll watch that. That's the story of Jakob Spiderman.
It's a short story, man.
Alright, here's a story that'll probably piss Max off, which actually I know it does because he posted it to our Geek News site this morning. Daredevil, the movie, which I already expected to be true, will take place in the X-Men universe. Max?
I thought Marvel got him back.
Deadpool, not Daredevil.
Yeah, thank you, sorry.
That already happened.
I thought Marvel got him back.
No, man, it's part of the X-Men contract.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fox
God.
was making the movie.
He's under the X-Men, mutant characters and everything.
Tragedy. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be awful. I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, but I'm not going to like it.
I like how you went 180 on us, Max. I'm not gonna watch. Fine, I'll watch it.
We know he's gonna watch it. He watches Gotham every week, and he loves that show.
That's what makes him mad. It's because these people have my money. They already have it. Like, It's yours. Please do something good with it. Like, I'm going to give you my money. Not fair. You know, like, you give them your money and they keep on putting out this crap, and you still have to go see it.
Hey, I see it as Deadpool twice in a year, and I hope it's good.
It's not going to be.
It's being done, but and
So-
this isn't a good thing for Max, but I think the rest of us at this panel agree that it's being written. You know, it's in charge of the same guy who did X-Men: Days of Future Past, so I'm fairly
You like that
confident
movie?
in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God. Well, yeah, we need to do a discussion on that one, because I will break down in every way how that movie is garbage, and I will have you guys hating that movie as much as I do by the end.
I doubt
This is so much fun.
it.
So, Jason, when you said the X-Men universe, so you mean they're actually going to put him in the next X-Men movie?
Apparently, he will be in Apocalypse.
Hmm.
They
Okay.
need a lot of people to fight Apocalypse. I mean, they got to cram as many people into that movie as possible.
It wasn't even anything as far as Apocalypse is concerned. I mean, like, on the levels of useful, they didn't bring back the Phoenix or something. You're going to fight Apocalypse. Give me a break.
Well, they did. That was a few weeks ago. They were recasting Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Storm.
Oh, they're recasting them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not recasting Wolverine.
Well, no, Wolverine doesn't age,
dead.
and Hugh Jackman is the only reason that a lot of people saw the not very good ones.
They're not very good, like Wolverine Origins.
Yes. With Deadpool.
With Deadpool in it.
That's why I don't see how they can bring him back, but okay.
No, they wiped out the timeline. Remember, it's a different Deadpool.
Yeah, so it could be a different origin form, a different setup, and it could be a standalone, maybe. I don't know.
That makes
Yeah,
more
and they
sense.
put Spider-Man in there and explain the origin story again.
There we go.
Fantastic.
You can find your Spider-Man origin in the Deadpool movie.
We'll give
All right.
X-Men Origins Wolverine one credit, though. They shot Wolverine in the head with an adamantium bullet. I had never seen that before. I thought that was the best thing in the whole movie. I give him that. That was a good movie.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of the X-Men universe, Fox is deeply in the works on an X-Men television series, which will set place in the movie universe, which I'm not really a big fan of combining the movie and television universe. I think it ties too many hands, like with S.H.I.E.L.D. the first season, even though the second season of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been awesome.
Really good.
Yeah.
He likes it.
Mike? I know. Mike, what are your thoughts on that?
The X-Men TV show in
Yeah.
development. I mean, they've tried it before. They had what was it, Generation X pilot years ago. They had kind of a X-Men-y type show with Mutant X or whatever. It didn't have anything to do with X-Men, but same idea, mutants, people with powers banding together. I mean, if they plan on incorporating it into the movie universe, I don't know. It just depends on what state the movies are in at that point, you know, because they've been talking about it's a lot of preemptive stuff, like, oh, we're gonna combine the Fantastic Four movies with X-Men movies. We're gonna have a team up with that when the Fantastic Four gets started, and then we'll go from there with a TV show, and and reboot again, I guess. I don't know, because they want to hang on to those rights. So I don't know. It just depends on what kind of state everything's in after, I guess, Apocalypse and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's my biggest question is how are they going to, I mean, if they only make one a year, then maybe they could use that as the bridge, but how are you going to get any actors that are going to be in your movies to go in between?
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, how do you include Professor X? How do you include all these other characters? So I don't see it being a true X-Men show. Maybe it's something about mutants, but then how is that any different than what you talked about, Mike? I don't know. We'll have to see.
It will be
Heroes.
about Morph. You remember Morph from the cartoon
that guy.
series? He will be the lead of the X-Men television series because they're not putting him in the movies.
Oh, the red shirt from the first episode, yeah.
Factor or X-Force. There's all kinds of X teams that are peripherally, related to these things that they could do. I mean, I don't know about an X-Men show, but I'd go see Havoc, mess some stuff up. Do some. Oh, but he's in the X-Men movies. Whatever.
He'll be like 60.
But I don't know. You can pick some peripheral guys and do some stuff. I mean, whatever. There's so many X-Men. There's so many.
That doesn't mean it will be interesting.
No, yeah, interesting. Probably not. I mean, we were all hopeful for Gotham, right?
Yeah. Well, here's what you do. You take the concept of ordinary people with extraordinary abilities. You set it up so they all meet each other from far distant places, and all have to deal with one central plot. Oh wait, no, that's Heroes.
Yeah.
They need to save a cheerleader and save
a
the world.
cheerleader.
And they need
get a bad guy obsessed with watches.
Get Zachary Quinto involved, and then have him be good and bad and good and bad and good and bad and good and bad and good and bad.
And ruin what could be an awesome character arc in
You guys are bashing Heroes. I could be bashing Heroes, but you guys are doing it.
Hey, I liked the first season of Heroes. I thought it was really well done, and then everything after that was a train wreck.
Yeah, season 1 I'm cool with. Just.
Max is gone. We have an empty chair. So since Max isn't really involved with this next topic, I'll bring it up. So a lot of nerds rejoiced today as Showtime announced that they are bringing back Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks was a show that ran for 2 seasons. It was done by David Lynch in the early 90s. It is credited with the reason we have shows like The X-Files and all of the stuff that came after. It was the first serialized big mythical show that had a cult following. I mean, it was really big when it came out. Who Shot Laura Palmer was the talk of the summer for a long time. And I know, Mike, you're a big fan of this show, so I'm going to let you step in and talk.
Yeah, well, Twin Peaks, like you said, was kind of the forerunner for a lot of these shows that dealt a lot into either mystery or just weird stuff. You could actually attribute maybe Lost to something like this just because of wherever it went in terms of dreams and in terms of finding clues in dreams and spirits and things like that. There was a lot of weird stuff going on in this simple murder mystery case, and Kyle MacLachlan was an awesome lead. So I don't know, because the second season kind of ended with a really weird cliffhanger. It'd be kind of weird to kind of start up again a new series and be like, what happened there? But knowing David Lynch, I don't know if you guys are familiar with his stuff or not, but he's probably not going to explain it. A lot of stuff's going to be left up in the air.
Well, he's going to skip 25 years into the future. I guess that was one of the last lines in the final episode was, "I'll see you in 25 years." So they're gonna go with that route.
There we go.
All right. Next up is. Max, you're going to love this. A movie that's not written yet. It's still not written. Avengers 3 hasn't even been thought about yet. Joss Whedon is still stressed out and losing hair and breaking legs and can't go to Comic-Con over the Avengers 2. So, naturally, Avengers 3 rumors are coming out. Apparently, key Avengers are sitting out Avengers 3.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I heard Spider-Man sitting in
I don't think Wolverine will be there either. They're saying that Tony Stark will be in the first half of the movie with a whole new group of people, and then the second movie will feature new people.
I refuse to care until Avengers 2 comes out. I refuse to care. This is all crap.
Right? You can't have a news story on a movie that's not even written. I don't understand that. I just wanted to bring that up so you could rant.
It's speculation.
Avengers 3 is going to be terrible. I heard that it's going to be terrible. Avengers 2 hasn't even come out. You don't even know what Avengers 3 is going to be about.
So therefore, Avengers 3 is terrible, right?
Oh goodness! I heard that everybody quit. I heard that everybody quit. That's what
I heard Joss Whedon was putting Malcolm and Wash in from Firefly. They're gonna be there flying the Avengers all around too.
And Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That's right. Sarah Michelle Gellar and Allison Hannigan are going to be in it too. It's going to be just one big Joss Whedon meld.
You know what I heard is that the Superman is not going to be in the movie, in the third Avengers movie. I heard the Superman is not going to do it.
But Batman is. Ben Affleck will be reprising his role as Daredevil and Spider-Man.
In breaking news, we just made that shit up right now.
Oh, that's all of my news stories.
How many crap rumors have to come out before we're like, please stop putting this on the internet because it's not doing anyone any good.
Yeah, it's just at this point, it's just like everyone's getting psyched out for Avengers 2 that they're already like saying, "Yo," there was that rumor you guys were talking about last time about 3 and 4 being shot together back to back or whatever. It's like, well, yeah, in theory, when we have no script, no one committed yet, other than just three picture deal or whatever. But yeah, it's just something to get news hits, get rumors started, you get hits on your site, kind of like what we did just now.
We have a question on our Q&A. It says, so, do you guys like anything you watch? This is clearly not for Max since he hates everything, LOL. But can you each list one movie or TV show you like, preferably something newish so I can check it out? Sure. I thought Guardians of the Galaxy came out a few months ago, was really good. Gone Girl came out this weekend. I really want to see. Tusk, I've been hearing that whether you like it or hate it, it will definitely leave an impact on your life. So, I mean, what's that?
That's not necessarily a good thing.
It's not, but I mean, I've heard it's worth watching.
Yeah.
So those are two. Tusk and Gone Girl are on the top of my list. TV shows, me and Max saw the Flash pilot, and we thought that was decent. Shield has been really good this year.
Yeah, Shield's good.
Heck, I watch a lot of TV. I mean, Gotham I don't like. What'd you say? What'd you say, Philip?
Blacklist.
Yeah. Mike, what's your recommendation as far as new TV or movies?
In terms of movies so far, my favorites have been kind of like small releases like Snowpiercer. I really like Snowpiercer. Geez, what else? Just because it's so stupidly dumb fun. Like I actually did kind of like the last Transformers, not for good reasons. Again, like Max said, not necessarily because it's a good thing, but because I laughed and laughed and laughed.
I still haven't brought myself to watch that one yet.
Yeah, Guardians. I like Guardians quite a bit actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still kind of pulling a little bit for Gotham. I kind of like the pilot. We're okay, right, Max? We're cool. Okay, I kind of like the pilot. I kind of like the pilot. I kind of hope they do a little bit more with it. I want to see it grow a little bit more than it has been. I know it's still just a fledgling show coming on. I was watching Gotham episode, but
I was watching this episode of Gotham before this thing started, and it's terrible. It doesn't get any better. It's really that bad.
I can't wait. Doctor Who. Here we go, Max. Doctor Who. I like the new Doctor Who series.
I'm digging that too. I am also.
Yeah, it's fun.
So there you go. Max likes a show, Doctor Who. You heard it here first.
You said a lot of shows that I like.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Stuff out there, but there's most bad stuff out there, and you should know the difference and rail against it like I do.
If you haven't checked out the first 4 seasons of Dexter, I highly recommend watching that.
That's a bit older.
Yeah, but I mean, if he hasn't seen it, he should definitely watch that 4th season.
Apparently, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Orphan Black.
What did you
House
say?
of Cards.
Orphan Black and House of Cards is great.
Yep, House of Cards is really
I
awesome.
definitely recommend House of Cards.
Yeah, House of Cards is excellent. Kevin Spacey is great.
Yeah.
True Detectives also.
True Detective, excellent.
I'm a big Breaking Bad fan, but Matthew McConaughey should have won the Emmy for that show, not Bryan Cranston, but
that
different topic.
Is really good.
Oh yeah.
Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, it's really. I've been watching that. It's really good.
Cool. I think we covered TV pretty well. Yeah, if you haven't seen Twin Peaks yet, go back and watch that too. Anyway, Philip, give us some news reports for the new games.
I was like, wow, I've moved up in the world.
Right.
Hold on, let me switch to Reuters real quick. But all right, so I'm gonna go a little bit over. I realized last week I forgot to mention that Smash Brothers 3DS came out October 3rd. Haven't really been playing my 3DS much. That's probably why. But definitely, I heard it's a lot of fun. It's definitely worth your time. As far as what comes out next week is Borderlands the pre-sequel. Initially, I was indifferent to this, but as I started to do a little bit of research into it and kind of figure out what a little bit more it was, it kind of intrigued me a little bit more. I don't know if it's enough to make me go buy it, but it's at least enough that if I had the opportunity to play it, I probably would. Whereas before I would have just said whatever, I don't care. But ideally, right now, the way they're doing it is it's going to be it is technically taking place between 1 and 2, but the way they're doing it is it's after episode 2, they're actually going to narrate and do flashbacks, and it's kind of going to explain why/how Jack, who became the villain in Borderlands 2, became that person. And it's interesting because they're actually talking about, we'll see how true this is because this is Borderlands, but going into the moral ambiguity of villain, which is because initially you're working for Handsome Jack and you're trying to just get off the moon, and you're just trying to do all this, and apparently you're going to see a progression arc of him. So that actually sounds exciting. As far as the story, that's all I really could find that they've released so far, but it sounds really interesting. There's 4 new characters. Nothing really exciting with any of the characters, except this time you actually get to play as a claptrap robot without having to buy DLC. That comes straight out of the box. And apparently his abilities will have characters from all the old games. So at certain points, at certain times in the game, it'll unlock. They're very vague in that. As far as the other ones, you actually get to play all the characters you've actually seen in all the other games. They're either villains or they're NPC characters that you interacted with, which kind of makes sense if you think about them being villains in Borderlands 2 since they're working for Handsome Jack. So that's interesting. On the moon, you're obviously going to have gravity as a interaction. So what actually, to me initially, I was like, okay, whatever, I can jump higher or slower, whatever, I don't care. But now, if you actually leave items, they will actually float away on you. So now this will actually put a little more urgency in. Wait a minute, they just dropped some loot. I need to go get that loot before it runs away, and I can't get it anymore. And apparently, at first I thought this was cool, but I'm not sure. They're going to use oxygen. Initially, I thought, oh, you have to use that to keep yourself alive. It sounds not at all the case. It sounds literally because you literally can like use it as a jetpack or to double jump. I was like, okay.
That's yes, like adjusting thrusters, man.
Just listed off 2 things that will not work for you in real life on the moon: gravity and oxygen.
Yep. So it's definitely, it sounds interesting. Some of the characters seem cool. We'll have to see. But again, that's going to be only Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 right now. There are no rumors of PlayStation Vita. I don't think Borderlands 2 did well enough on the Vita for them to consider it. So, and the other thing I'm going to talk about is a game I think I talked about last week. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor. I actually got a chance to play it this weekend. It is awesome. It is the first game in a long time, probably since Red Dead Redemption, the kind of game where I'm wandering around in the world, and I actually don't mind wandering around in the world. Mm-hmm. There's so much to do. Obviously, if you're not into the Lord of the Rings lore, it'll probably be less interesting for you to wander around in the world. But they keep you so busy. I guess it kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed 4 for a more recent game, to kind of go into that. Because in Assassin's Creed 4, after you get through the initial part, you get on an island. You have little areas that you can unlock, right? So that you like, bam, I know all my missions in my area. Well, the difference in Assassin's Creed 4, when you're running around, the general townsfolk aren't trying to kill you. Whereas in Shadow of Mordor, you're wandering around, and an orc sees you, he wants to kill you. He wants to kill you in that exact moment. And what's cool, with a couple moments I had with it, where I was talking about Nemesis, if you actually get in a battle and suddenly there's like 30 orcs around you and you're just like, screw this, I don't want to try and fight this forever. If you actually like grab up a couple of them and then bail out and you don't kill them, and they ended up moving up in rank, they will actually come back to you as a captain and say, you gave me the scar, and they'll be scarred up, and they will want to take you down for that. And they will be extra powerful, and that'll be why they moved up to captain, just to take you down.
You got haters. You can get haters.
Exactly.
It's the
So,
video game that holds a grudge.
yep. And it is some of the most. I don't know if you all ever played the original Punisher game from Xbox. The graphic scenes in that, it's not quite that graphic in this game because obviously they can't be curb stomping orcs.
Right.
Let's go American History X on the orcs.
I don't think that would quite work, but the executions in the game are perfectly gory and fun. Like, I mean, you can chop off their heads, you can, like, stab them on the ground, and what's awesome is if you catch them at the right time and you stab the guy's buddy, like kill him instantly, he will freak out, wig out, and run away, depending.
Yeah, but then he comes back like 10 times around, like, he made me run away and piss myself. Yeah.
Potentially. So it's definitely a game I recommend. It's definitely worth the time.
Cool. Real quick before we get to Max, if you are listening and want to send in any questions, please do so. We'll be glad to answer them tonight. So, Max, what did you have for us in the realm of comic books?
Comic books and cartoons, actually. The new Justice League DC cartoon movie, Justice League, what is that called? Goodness sake, I'm so good at my job.
Throne of Atlantis?
Throne of Atlantis, yes. The trailer came out, and I watched it, and it looks mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm holding I'm not really holding my breath on that one. I'm waiting to see what they put out, but that's supposed to come out spring of next year. So hopefully that's good. And it could go either way. But the movie, it's the sequel to Justice League War that came out, and that was like the new 52 cartoon, the new 52 Justice League official kind of cartoon that came out, and it wasn't that good. Wonder Woman was like, she reminded me of Thor. You know how they're just like, verily, and he would run around and kill things for no reason. Like, that's kind of what Wonder Woman was in that movie, and I never really pictured Wonder Woman at that. So, like, they lost a lot of points at that, and the movie was meh. But hopefully this one's a lot better. I mean, it has the potential to be better. It's Aquaman versus Black Manta and his brother Orm. So, and that looks pretty good. Or, could go either way. And then I wanted to talk about Valiant Comics. They 2 years ago came back from bankruptcy and obscurity, and they came back with a lot of good comic books. Harbinger, Exo Manowar, Ninjak, and just a few of the titles that they came out with. But they're having their new release for next year. They just divulged some information with us. They're releasing 6 new titles, and they're calling it Valiant Next. And they got The Valiant, which is kind of their, like Avengers big team up book there. They got Ivar Time Walker that looks actually pretty good. This chick stumbles onto time travel and all kinds of hilarious hijinks ensue. One called Divinity, which I'm not really sure is about. I think it's just kind of new stuff. Imperium is a continuation of their Harbinger line, and it's looks pretty good. It's about the main bad guy from Harbinger, kind of after he gets outed and everyone knows he's a bad guy, what he does next. They're continuing Ninjak, and he's awesome. He's a ninja. He's like a secret agent. He just runs around and does all kinds of sweet ninja stuff. So that's pretty much your Batman kind of deal right there. And Bloodshot Reborn. Now I haven't started reading Bloodshot, but I heard it's really good. So this is a continuation of that, and it looks pretty good. Valiant Comics, they got like Publisher of the Award. They only had like 5% of the market, and they got Publisher of the Year. So the books are pretty good. They're all like kind of reincarnations of what they had done in the 90s before they went bankrupt. But they're all good books to look at that aren't the Marvel or DC books. They're pretty well written.
Cool. Amit M would like to comment on Aquaman. He says, "It is Aquaman. He is essentially a fish, and fish are useless." Thank you, Amit, for your comment.
This is what we're trying to overcome. Good luck. I agree with you wholeheartedly, Amit. And yeah, we'll just see what they do. Because they already spent the money, so they already have my money. So hopefully they do something good with it.
Yes, I said Amit, not Amit, because you're Amit. Sorry. Anyway, that is the topics we have for today. This was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed having you, Mike. Definitely added a new element to the show. So thanks for...
It was a lot of fun to be here, and man, there's so much enthusiasm for all things geek.
I can't hear him.
Touch the side over here.
There you go. We all did it. We all did no technical difficulties.
It happens. I just wanted to say thanks for everything. It was fun here to hear all the enthusiasm on both sides for stuff, all things geek. Max, you are passionate, sir. But no, it was a blast, and yeah, just recalling all the bad stuff about episode 1 and getting to talk about some new stuff and Rumor Central and everything like that. Good times. Go to my website. YouTube/Mike McGTV something. YouTube/Mike McGTV. I do movie reviews, some short comedic stuff. Jason's done voice work for one of them, and maybe I can get you guys to do some voice work for me too.
All right. I'm
Sure.
down.
See.
Yeah, we're definitely down with that. Anytime you want to collaborate. Yeah, definitely check out Mike's YouTube page. It's a lot of fun. Some funny stuff on there. Do you have the video on there of the Next Mutation rip that you did?
No, I don't have that anymore. That was the old site.
Oh.
No, yeah, that was a righteous rip on Next Mutation. I'm a Ninja Turtles nut, by the way, so expect a lot of that stuff on there too.
Thursday, Max and I will be rolling solo on a TV podcast. Philip will be en route, and hopefully Philip can find a way to make it to us. If we have to delay an hour, we might do that, just because having us all in the actual same vicinity would be a lot of fun.
All right. Here's what you do. You set up your computer in your car.
There you go.
You get the little adapter thing so you can plug it into your cigarette lighter there. You hook up your computer to your phone for the Wi-Fi, and we'll do it up. You ain't got to miss a thing.
I love you.
You can drive and do the podcast at the same time, man. You can
I like what you added to the bottom of your screen, Max. But no, seriously, Philip, you could get like a little headset and just do audio from your phone, and we can just set a picture up. So there'll just be a picture of you grabbing your throat that I have on my phone. It'd be fantastic.
Nice.
But then you're on the grid, man. Just watch out. You're on the grid then at that point.
But no, we're gonna cover everything TV so far this season, Max and I, on Thursday. So that should be a lot of fun. Yeah, because Flash premieres tomorrow, right? And then Arrow is shortly after.
I'm actually excited to see what they do with Arrow because they went nuts last season. So we'll see where they go.
We have another question from Amit M, who wants to know what we're going to cover on Thursday. Amit, we are going to cover as much as we can. I am sitting through a bunch of shows that are not good. I am sitting through a bunch of shows that are good. I've almost watched every new pilot so far this year, so we will discuss what sucks and what doesn't suck.
The Star Wars Rebels show. We can look forward to that. We'll talk about that.
Did you say you watched it?
Oh, yeah, I watched it.
It already sounds entertaining.
I watched the crap out of it.
Philip, you have to join us now because I can already see you guys have opposing views. Poor Philip, he's turning red. Max is excited. All right, thank you very much for listening to us. My name is Jason Taylor. Max and Philip and Mike, have a good evening.
Thank you.